I'm the hardest.
Let's go.
Motherfucker in the room. Better yet, I'm the hardest in the building. These niggas fakers, all they doing is some lying.
I'm gonna let this ride. I'm gonna let it ride.
Real nigga in the street, yeah, you should try it. I'm the hardest in the building.
Hey man. Welcome to the MAD LUCRATIVE Podcast. Episode 50. What is this? Episode 50. The crowd gonna keep clapping.
Something.
Episode 52.
Yeah, sure.
Woohoo. And I'm the host, the one, the only Magneto 7 in the building. I'm gonna let it die down. Along with my co-host, the one and only
John J.
some guy. Some guy.
We're doing the intros all tired today.
Yo. We gonna get to that, but welcome to the pod. We got to give them good energy in the beginning.
I think it's
can't
pretty
just
good.
give them some lame shit.
That kind of made me think of the Drake album. You know, the new one. Little segue. Huh?
No, we're not going there yet. We're not going there yet. So welcome to the studios again.
Welcome.
We're trying to get in the motion of doing some better scheduling.
Oh yeah.
Cause the weekends go crazy, right? So. How was your week so far, though? Because, you know, we're a week out. So how was your week so far, though?
Dude, it was busy. This week has been nonstop.
Really?
I had to turn down a bunch of stuff. They're like, yo, you still coming? Coming? I'm like, no, Joe. It's
Like,
no.
coming?
No. No, I hope my group of friends won't ask me that. But I was supposed to meet him at a brewery, and we were all supposed to kind of hang out. But I was like, dude, we were out in that 90. What? It was 97.
First off, Atlanta, I'm gonna give it a clap because we in the South. But that damn Atlanta heat, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I cannot. Like, what's the heat index? Like 110?
Yeah, I think so.
The heat. Okay, so I don't
all
know
of
if,
Georgia too. It's not just Atlanta. It's just Georgia.
Yo, so I don't know if Lance still on the line, but we were out there working on a damn water meter, right?
Yeah.
And so I decided to get on. I was like, all right, I go ahead and take. It's a little easy stuff. I go ahead and get on my knees, go ahead and start unloosening this. Jacob was out there too, and I'm on my knees, and it's burning the shit out of my deal. Like, just like,
Give me some water.
I said, I could get it loosened.
Yeah.
I said, but you got to finish this. You got to finish it because my knees were burning.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
My knees were burning like a hooker in Vegas.
Hooker in church.
Hooker in church.
Oh, sweating like a hooker in church.
Sweating like, there you go. So,
My bad.
yeah, I cannot do the Georgia heat. 110 heat index, no.
It's different for anybody who oh, well, I live in Texas. I live in Arizona. I'm not saying your state isn't hot, right? But Georgia heat, dude, seeps into you.
Yo.
Because you can't escape it with the shade. Because you
can't.
get in the shade and it's still hot. It's like the air has heated up.
Right.
And when you breathe it, you are hot inside. You can't escape.
So I had another epiphany this week, and I'm not going to go into detail.
This has been
it's another epiphany.
the three pods of epiphanies.
3 pods of epiphanies. Yo. And I know a girl named Epiphany. I don't know if she watched the pod. But anyway, I had another epiphany that I'm getting old. Like, I'm like.
You're not old.
But yo, so I see, like, okay, when you've built yourself up, you got confidence now.
Yeah.
You believe in yourself, this is stuff. And I'm like, yo, one morning I go brush my teeth and I'm like, it's a gray hair right there. Like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Then the next month or two later, it's 4 more gray hairs right there. So I'm like, yo, I'm getting old. I got to start taking my vitamins.
You should be doing that anyway.
Do you really think about taking vitamins?
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to ask you. You don't count.
I take 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C a day or some shit. It's a lot. More than you need. But I mean, you just piss the rest out.
Okay.
Because vitamin C, you can overdose on vitamin B, I think, right? That'll make you sick. But C, you could just keep taking all the C you want and you'll just pee the rest out.
Yeah.
So really, and that's immune system,
I have to give a shout out to my mom because she said y'all need some soap to wash your mouth out. Mom.
Sorry, Mom.
Listen, okay.
Pod Mom.
Listen, we're potting, so we have to have potty mouths. It's natural.
That was the most elementary shit, but that's
makes
funny
sense.
though. I like that. Potty mouths. Oh
I'm
my God.
potting, so I had to have potty mouth. But anyway,
Make a shirt.
so I'm outside and that heat is just smacking me. So then, if that wasn't the only smart decision that I made for the week, my dumb ass said, I'm going to go outside and go run 3 miles.
What's wrong with you, dude?
So, but bro, you know me. I'm determined. I'm very determined.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right. I get in my truck. I'm like, it's a little hot, but I can shake it off. That's what I need, a little bit of that heat. Bro.
He won't stop. If you say you're gonna do something, no matter if you're gonna die, you still do it.
I'm gonna do it.
It's dangerous.
I was about to say something, but that'd have been bad. I'm not gonna say that. It's like I'm gonna still say it. It's like if you see a girl that you really like,
Yeah.
and that's not gonna be good. Is you like, I still gotta do it. That's how I felt with the heat.
That landed me in many bad situations. So I've learned my lesson. You can keep doing it, but
many bad situations.
Not
Like
anymore.
what? Burners? You got burned?
No, I've never gotten burned.
Crabs?
No,
Oh,
I've never gotten a.
no STDs.
I've never been funky fresh.
Oh, okay, wow.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm good.
Good. That's great.
Yep.
No,
I do not want to catch them all.
we don't want to catch
I
nothing.
ain't nothing.
But I'm running, right? I'm running on the track or the trail, and I get like a salty taste in my mouth. So I'm like, epiphany.
It's blood.
That's epiphany number 2. I get like a little salty taste. I'm like, yo. I remember, and it's not funny, but some of my friends, it was like, yo, bro, you got diabetes. Like, it's like, no, I don't. I was
No.
so I was like, but I heard if you had diabetes, then you taste salt. Like your saliva starts tasting salty.
But you wouldn't have diabetes.
I wouldn't think.
You have all good food, and you work out way more than I do.
I work out. But
If
I don't
anything,
know.
I'm waiting. I'm like, all right.
But I don't know. I cut pork and all that. But anyway,
Yeah.
I'm running, and you know me. If I'm trying to track my time,
Yeah.
bruh, I get up on like a half a mile, and that 110 smacking me in my head. It's like,
You're like,
oh, like you're trying to wipe off the
you
heat.
dying. You were running to your grave.
I was running embalming fluid right there. It was waiting for me. Finish
Jeez.
line, embalming fluid. But yeah, that was my second epiphany. Like, yo, you're getting old. You can't do that. Like, you got to do either like walk
Yeah.
most of the trail.
They say, dude, walking, they say, is just great.
Walking
you just gotta
is for
walk
bums.
longer. Walking's for quitters.
Walking is for quitters.
That's not true.
Well, anyway,
I like to walk.
Let's put contingencies on it.
Yeah.
You can walk if you're over 250.
It's not. You can walk anytime you want to.
No, if you're under 250, you need to be running. Like if
They
I
say-
can do it, then you can do
Nah,
it.
they say running. Especially think of really really buff dudes. Running for them is actually a lot. Like it doesn't make sense. They're so heavy because they're so
Okay.
muscly. They put needless pressure on their joints and knees when they run. So
Okay.
really, from big muscly dudes, it's just better to walk to get your cardio. You know?
But okay, do you feel like you did some actual workout if you walk? Do you feel like you worked out?
If I walk for a while, yeah. You just got to make sure you burn enough. You got to walk, fast walk. Like those
Okay, so anyway,
those dudes who were like,
that was my epiphany. But again, what I just tell you, I feel like if you're 250 and under, you need to be running. 250 and over, walk. Like walk to get down to 249 and then run.
Crawford's boot camp, that he has rules, okay? He's got rules.
Don't consult with a doctor.
Mags camp.
Ain't that so reckless? Do not consult with the doctor.
Doctors don't know shit,
Run.
trust me. Only
So-
listen to me.
So when you came running with me, what was your epiphany? This was your first time working out.
Well,
wasn't
okay,
it?
so it was great, but I chugged like half a bottle of water before I got out there like an idiot. And so the whole time I was like, you hold on, I'll catch up. Oh my God, I felt like someone was punching me in the gut. And he's like, suck your stomach in, come on, suck your stomach in, to that yellow pole, run. And I'm like, oh my God. I was dying. But I didn't want to let my strong friend down.
Yo, I was just looking at Sean.
He made a video of me. He's like, this is what, he's like, never underestimate the big guy.
Yo, that one I wanted to say, and this is your king? Like a Black Panther.
No,
This
I'm
is
no
your-
one's king.
This is your king?
No one has given me a crown. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yo. But yeah, I learned that this week. I'm getting older. Like a lot of things are just a little different.
Those hairs are like little badges, man. They're not, it's not bad. You could be a silver fox. Ladies love older guys when they're starting to like age, you know? They're getting into their, I call them the wise years, you know?
But what does that mean when you're married?
Oh, well. You got me
I
there.
love catching this mug up. Speaking of,
It's all up to if she has the same ideology.
Okay, so speaking of, that brings us to our first subject.
Yeah.
We were talking about you break it down because I'm gonna mess it up.
What
The dream-
how many you get?
Yeah, the dream sex thing.
Well, he was talking to me and he was like, someone was like, "Oh, you want to fuck other people?" He was like, yeah, sure." And then someone online was like, "In your dreams," and you go, "Well, yeah," as a joke, of course. But then we were like, I feel like you should be allotted like maybe one dream fuck a month,
Now we're gonna edit it and we're gonna
Yeah.
make it clean because people might want to take the clip.
Yeah,
So we'll say a dream cheat.
a dream cheat.
A dream cheat.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that just sounds worse. I honestly like rather dream fuck.
It's the same thing.
Cheating makes me feel dirty. But fucking just makes me feel
Dirty.
kind of dirty though.
A good kind of dirty.
Yeah. Like playing in the mud versus getting pushed in the mud. No one wants to get pushed in the mud. But when you're in the mud and you want to be in the mud, it's different. Like jumping in the pool or getting pushed in the pool. Which one's better? Clearly jumping in the pool, right?
Jumping in the pool.
So dream fuck is much better than dream cheat.
So dream fuck is
Actually,
jumping
you know
in
what?
the pool.
At what point does it become a dream cheat? I think if you're fucking the same dude in your dream for like a week, that's just dream cheating. That's messed up. You should not be doing that.
Yo, so if you ask your wife, let's say your wife, you're married, you fast forward.
That's what I'm saying. If she's doing that, I'm
So
like,
you're
yo.
married and but how would you know she's smashing the same dude?
If she tells me about it. Otherwise, I don't know. Which makes it even worse. Well, I don't know. Does it make it worse if you don't know or if you do know? I feel worse either way. I feel like I'll just feel bad. Yeah, it's kind of like
kind of feel bad. You don't want to know.
either or.
Yeah, either or. But if let's say that was a thing.
Yeah.
How many? You say if she does the same dude in every
Oh,
dream.
the same? No. If it's the same dude once a month,
Then
that's
it's
still
a
a
thing.
problem. If it's like a different dude once, random, I don't know, like your famous actor, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, whoever their
Denzel?
favorite. Yeah,
Or what's your boy that does the Thor? That guy.
Chris Evans.
Okay.
Yeah, if she fucks Chris Evans, I'll be like, okay, I get, it's you see him in movies all the time.
But
He's
if it's-
jacked as shit. So I guess your brain wanted that randomly.
But if it's your best friend,
No, if even once, I'll be like, "Yo, that's you know what? I won't be like immediate witch hunt, right?
Okay.
But I'll be like, if it happens again, though." But then if I say that, then it probably will,
then it
because then it's in their mind.
Yes.
And
Oh,
then-
I'm gonna do this again.
This is such a problem. We need to go therapy now.
Yeah,
Me
clearly,
and you.
clearly.
You're fucking Kyle. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Why aren't you fucking me in your dream? Well, because I guess that's what they're doing normally.
Yo, this is a great conversation because I wonder how many married men and married women that is the case.
It's probably all the time, I would say.
I wouldn't.
Because contrary to popular belief, women, I feel like, have more of a drive sometimes than dudes.
We gotta get a woman on the pod.
We do.
We gotta get a woman on the pod
Both of
so
us
she can.
are not women, so
Yeah,
it'd
we're
be
not
nice.
women, so
No.
we're just speaking from your perspective, but we really don't know.
Yeah.
So, I think if men really voice that,
Yeah. Men should stand up. You know what? Gosh darn.
yo, but men would be pissed off. Just think
You
about
fucking who? It's in my head, babe. Who? It's not
Don't
real.
do it.
Well, don't do it again.
Yo, so yours is one. No,
Like-
yours is multiple. If she does multiple in
Yeah.
dreams, then that's a little bit better
Like-
off.
Well, first off, yeah, she's fucking a different dude every night in her dream. That's just weird, right? But if it's like once a week, she's like, yeah, I had that fucking weird Iron Man dream. I'd be like, why do you do that?
Okay.
With the suit on?
All right.
That's okay.
But what if this is another one? What if she keeps smashing like this? Yeah, I got to work. Went to my cubicle. I saw Danny come over here.
No.
and say-
Already no. Fuck Danny. Where does he live? Who is he? I'm gonna show up to work and be like, "Hey, babe, bought you some."
Yo, is this Danny?
Hey, Danny, what's
Danny
up,
right here?
man? How you doing?
Okay.
Heard a lot about you, bud.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't think I could vote. I don't think I could vote for a yes or no. I just would not want to know.
It's all satire, really. Though
Yeah.
there's nothing you could do about it. You know, I'm not gonna show up to work and be pissed at the guy. Like,
Why not though?
because it's when you're dreaming, it's subconscious. You know, that's what I'm saying. But if you do this every night, that ain't subconscious. that's
a fantasy.
That's a want. Yeah. But if it's like a random, holy shit, I fucked Chris Evans last night. I'd be like, okay.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I go with that. All right. I go with that.
Yeah.
Speaking of dream smashing.
Dream smash.
Shouts out to the dream smasher himself, Drake.
That sounds like you destroyed someone's dreams.
That's a great segment, right?
Yeah, it is. It's good. I like that.
He's a dream sexer. But okay, so
Certified
I
lover
would have saved. I don't know. I'm gonna find the name of the album, but I would have saved this take for Patreon, but it's too good, and I want people to be able to get the take. So Drake just released an album, which I'm getting a name for now.
When did it release? Is it like really soon, or like was it just a couple days ago, or was it this week?
Don't get me lying. It says, honestly, never mind, Drake. That's probably what people are thinking.
Yeah.
Honestly, never mind, I'm good. Yo, Drake see the pod, he be like, Mad Lucrative Pod. Done.
I'm gonna kill you.
I don't want it. I don't want it. But no, okay, so Drake just did the deal. What up? Drake just did the deal with Universal a while ago. We talked about that on one of the pods, a few pods ago.
You said like 400.
No, it wasn't that much. Hold on, let me check. I don't want to. We want to spread real narratives, not false
we do not
narratives.
want to spread wrong information.
Publishing deal.
While we do this, how's everyone's week? Type in the comments below if you had a great week. Type in the comments if your wife also fucks Chris Evans in their dreams. Weird, right? Me and you having the same wife that's having the same dream about Chris Evans? That's bizarre.
No. All right. So he just did that deal. I cannot find the number.
That wasn't too long ago either. Well, you know, actually, shoot, it might have been last month. June
Was
has
it?
gone by so fast.
Actually, you were right. It's
Yeah.
400 million.
400 mil.
Yo, the boy did it. 400 million.
When someone says 400 mil, I remember that.
So 400 million, almost $500 million. So
Dude.
he drops this album, and this is what I look at it. This how I look. Y'all waited for the take, so I'm gonna give it to you. When I saw, well, I heard the album.
Yeah.
Right. I've been in wifey's car today trying to make sure the air conditioning stuff was worked out. But anyway, I'm listening to the album, and I'm like, oh, I immediately get it.
Yeah.
I have the ability to listen to music without liking it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't like it, Drake. Give me the placement. But I want that placement. But I listen to the album from executive ears. I have fan ears and then I have executive
You
ears.
got producer ears.
I have
you
producer ears, liar ears. I hear all of it. But so I'm listening. I'm like, oh, this is Drake's retirement plan. That's what I hear when, and I'm not saying retirement plan from the point of music being bad.
No, yeah, he'll still make it, but I know what you mean. This is kind of he's don't have to worry about it.
This is the security, and it's also securing the Grammy nom for 2023. You know why?
Really?
You know why?
Why?
Because this is not a rap album that Drake released. This is Drake's first dance album. It's dance music.
Like EDM?
EDM, it's more house. It's like house music.
That's it. That's what it sounded like too.
Yeah, the whole album.
Like you'd find remixes of this in a club somewhere,
Right. So Drake set himself up to be the only one in the category of dance music that's big enough to be nominated that's
Oh,
guaranteed to win.
Yeah.
Just like Kanye did with the gospel album.
Oh my god.
What other gospel artist came out the same year as Kanye when he did the gospel album?
that could even compete?
That could compete. That's
Yeah.
Kanye. You can't compete with that.
Oh,
So that's what
shoot.
Drake just did. He set himself up to win everything in the dance category for next year.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
That's one.
Of course yeah.
Like I said, I listened to it from producer, executive ears, and whatever. But I heard that first. I was like, okay, this is Drake's retirement plan. I get it. Plus, by him doing this type of music, that sets him up to be able to do publishing. So guess, and who he just did the deal with?
Dude,
Universal
yeah.
Music Group.
Mhm.
Universal Music. Hold up. Matter of fact, I'm gonna look this
It's
up.
all a big spider web, ain't it? At the end of the day,
I want y'all to hear this, because I think if y'all, the average fan that listens to the pod, if y'all listen to how I'm about to break this down, this is crazy. I promise you. Universal Music Group. Well, you also got to think about this. Is just Universal Music Group, just Universal Music Group, right? Hold up. Say something right quick while I find this.
Back to the Chris Evans situation. I didn't think I touched on that enough. Well, he figured this out. You know what is coming up though? Is Drake a father? Does he have kids?
He is. We're gonna wait on that too. We're gonna wait on it. Wait on it. Okay. All right. So Universal Music Group also owns Warner.
Wow.
No, these are the major
I was gonna
three.
say, I'm like, they what?
Yeah. So the major three is Universal, Sony, and Warner. Right?
I thought Warner is with Universal.
No.
I'm thinking
Warner is
Universal
just-
Studios.
Yeah, you think Universal Studios.
Never mind. Okay, not the music group. That's right, because Universal. Yeah. Okay.
So
I've been
I have
thinking
to-
about Universal too much.
how many? I have to rephrase it because Google don't be wanting to tell me everything.
Doesn't it feel like you got to really search things sometimes? Remember in school they taught us how to search with like the semicolons and parentheses and shit, and I just completely forgot. Is that still viable? Do people still search that way?
Kinda.
Where it's like // chicken McNugget conspiracy. I don't know, like whatever you're trying to look for.
All right. So just to name a few. All right. These are the labels that Universal owns. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready? Look, we're gonna get a crowd some. You ready? All
I'm
right.
writing it down mentally.
All right, write it down mentally. All right, here we go. They own Columbia Records.
Wow.
They own Capitol Records.
Really?
They own Sanctuary Records, whatever that is.
I've never heard of that one.
They own EMI. Do they own EMI now? Wow, I didn't even know that one. Virgin, I knew that one. They own Def Jam, they own Motown, they own pretty much all the black labels. They own it.
Death Jam.
They own it.
Damn.
So when you go back to the Drake spiel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Drake just did a deal for $400 million with Universal Music Group. Why do you think Why do you think Universal would allow him to do some music that could possibly fail? A fail in music world, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sounding like William Hollis now. Shouts out to William King Hollis. The fail in music world is when you do a song that can't be used in multiple facets,
Yeah.
i.e. movies, sports arenas, commercials,
Oh, that's so true.
radio,
yeah.
any kind of ads. However, the music can be repurposed
The
over
more
and over.
It fits. Just the more shit it fits.
The more it fits. The more it fits over and over. So when Drake drops this dance album like he just did, you got romance movies.
Yeah.
You got club scenes that's in the movies. You got sex scenes in the movies. You got everything.
Maybe at the same time.
And guess what? He just did the deal. With Universal with them already having a piece of the first catalog that he did.
Bruh.
So that catalog is in sports arenas. The basketball teams play to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
So now what Drake is doing,
He's
like I
just stacking
said,
them up.
Drake is solidifying his retirement. He solidified his retirement with this
So
album.
he just won't. Yeah. He's covered all his bases pretty much.
And I guarantee you,
And just let it ride.
what will possibly happen next. And look, y'all know my takes be crazy. Sean knows my takes
But
be
they
crazy
ain't wrong,
too.
though.
They don't be wrong. Drake will probably do a rock album.
Wow.
He'll probably do.
I'm curious though. I want to actually hear that.
He'll probably do that, and he'll probably do just a secondary. He'll do a secondary genre of music.
Someone clips this, sends it to him. He's like, I didn't think of that. I'll do a rock album.
But I mean, because when you think about it holistically, when you're doing music, you got to do the music enough in the right way so it pays you in the future.
Yeah. You got to help out future you. So that way when that downslope comes, you're going to have
you're good.
Residuals. You'll be fine.
And then even think about this. Think about how many times you heard, "Do you believe in love?"
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Right? When's the last time Madonna dropped something new?
It was? Oh man.
I mean, she's dropped new stuff.
But it was a remix of it, yeah. I've heard billions of remixes of that shit.
So, do you think Madonna has to tour? No, she never has. No. She don't have to do nothing.
She's good. Well, she kind of looks like an alien now, to be honest.
I mean, Madonna, I would love the placement too, so I'm not going to talk. But
you see the pictures circling the internet? She looks scary.
She does look a little bit scary.
Scary.
It's a little bit scary.
She's about to phone home.
But that's most of my take for the Drake stuff. Like, Dream Sex Man is like this is his retirement plan. He set it up. And so for all y'all bums out there, all you bums is like, yo, this album ain't hitting. I don't really like it.
His 401k was his 401 mil, man.
Drake's like, okay, do your thing. Don't listen to it. That's
sure.
Cool.
You don't like it? I still got paid. Yeah.
And I mean, you got to think about that. Even think about this. All right. So the peak of the music business right now is streaming. That's the peak of the business. We don't have
getting on Spotify, getting on Apple. Yeah.
So if there's no other way to generate income outside of being on one of these platforms, and the platform that you're trying to be on is owned by a label, how you lose?
Yeah, you don't.
Well, but as an independent artist, now this is why I got to talk to y'all.
You can fail.
You can fail easily. Because now you're competing with Universal for a slot on Spotify.
Not to say don't believe in yourself. If you're good, you're gonna work for it. And this completely makes sense now when you mean by the retirement thing. Because you were like, we were both talking 4 pods ago about how he could easily go independent. He's got enough crowd. He's got enough people. But like you said, maybe he was just, if I do that, I gotta basically keep working. Right. Now that he doesn't. I mean,
so I will backtrack everything that I said from that well, not everything. I backtrack some of it, but I get it. Like, okay, and like it goes back to my point. When you feel like you're getting older, stuff don't really hit the way it's a little bit different. Then you're like, okay, I got to start thinking about things from a broader standpoint, and not just now.
My future self.
Yeah,
have future brain.
Yeah, you really do.
You have to have foresight. Isn't that what it's called?
Yeah, I think so.
Foresight,
and not foreskin.
Like that. Not foreskin.
Not foreskin.
Well, I lost that long ago, but I have foresight.
So, I think it's cool. I think the average fan, though, is it too much for me to want the average listener to be smart? And I'm not talking about y'all. I'm not talking about y'all.
People want everyone to be smart. Well, that's not true. Sometimes I'm sure there's a lot of businesses that pay because they're stupid people.
I mean, but do we want that, though?
No, I would love a world where everyone has common sense, where, enough people have it where common sense is actually common. That'd be great. I wish that was a real thing. But I feel like we live in a world where I swear to gosh, 30% of the people are just NPCs and aren't real. Yeah. They act like it, You see people with... a prime example, you ever go to Walmart and you accidentally bump into someone, you go, oh, I'm so sorry. And they just give you that dead fish eye stare. They're just like...
Not fish eyes.
And you're like, oh, sorry. And they just like walk past you and you're like, are you alive?
They're not there. They're not there.
I swear some people just aren't real. Like just water brain,
Yeah, it's... Okay, and the only reason I say that is, like, I feel like if the average listener was smart, and, if you're not smart, don't take offense to it. Just know that you're not smart. Just know that
Again, this podcast is satire. Please do not take offense to anything we might
This is real though, not satire. No.
No, some people are stupid, and it's okay.
But I'm just like, yo, like
I'm stupid sometimes.
from a creative standpoint, I want your opinion because you're not a music person.
I'm not.
You're not a music
I love
person.
music, but I do not make it.
So do you feel like it's fair for the listener to expect the same album or the same sound every time?
No,
over?
and I have a thing about, dude, look at prime example. You know, I know maybe not everyone listens to this, but Green Day, right?
Okay.
Everyone hates on Green Day's new shit because it doesn't sound like what it did in the 90s, right?
Okay.
But then you have some people who hate on the shit if it does sound the same. The viewers are never happy, bro. There's always going to be a big group of people who are like, oh, God, they're not like they used to be in the 90s. This shit now is garbage. But then there's the same people who's like, they keep changing their stuff. It sounds too poppy now. It's not punk at all. What do you want, man? Like, and then there's some people who, you know, if Drake just pisses in a cup and records it, people are like, oh, classic Drake, dude. That shit's good.
But see, that's an issue for me.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, when I think of the average listener, I think of people like that.
Yeah.
That just co-signs everything. Like
that's very same with like movies. Anything Marvel now comes out, you have the fanboys who are like, it's the best thing I've ever seen in my life. And like, that's garbage. It's high tier garbage. Star Wars, all the new Star Wars shows coming out. Some of it
it's not good.
is pretty shit. And they're like, best thing I've ever seen in my life. Oh,
Hold
I
up.
love this. It's like,
Is Tyler
dude,
Perry in Star Wars?
no.
Okay.
Not yet. Who knows? Give him 5 years, man. Who knows?
But yeah, I want people, like, I like I feel like Kanye, I can't even think of too many people though that's done it, but Kanye has made his career unstable. He's made the listener expect something not like what they heard the first time.
Big time, which is good. I think that's good. You've trained your viewer to not
know what to
automatically be
expect.
pissed when it's like, oh, this isn't Kanye, because anything can be Kanye. So it's good.
Right. But when I think of a Drake, or I think of I would say Future, but even Future has certain, like, he'll do a whole guitar album with 808s on it, and it's hard. Like, Future's done that. But then I think of Drake, I think of 3 songs over and over.
Which ones?
I
bet you they're gonna say the same ones.
Let me see. Kiki.
Yeah.
The dance song
Kiki,
that was
when I was in high school, oh my God, that was everywhere,
you're telling your age.
bro.
You're telling your age. Wow. You were in high school when that came
That's
out?
when I graduated.
Okay.
I was graduate. No, you're right. I was graduated by that time.
Okay.
Never mind.
So I think of that. I think of the lyrical stuff where he's actually spitting bars, like off the Scorpion album.
Yeah.
He rapped on the album.
Yeah.
Right? And then this album where it's like straight singy, like the sad mellow tone type of vibe. And it's to me as a producer, the whole career is that. His whole career is 3 songs over and over.
Yeah.
You know,
to be honest.
But
some people would stake you for that, man. Some people would be like,
I get
how
it.
dare you say that?
I get it. But
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about, I'm trying to think. If you think of the older artists from back in the day, like Stevie Wonder, Al Green.
Yeah.
They transitioned through the times. Even Diana Ross. They transitioned through the times. They started with like hard soul music with the organs and the Fender Rhodes and the boxy drum sounds.
But then they kind of got more bandy.
Right. And then when I think late 70s, early 80s hit, you get the big band with the trumpets and the brass section. And then a little bit further, you get the disco music.
Yeah.
And then you start morphing into the 90s. But they transitioned.
They went with the time.
They went with the time,
Yeah.
but they made it them within each time.
They did.
I don't know
I
that.
think that's why they're greats, you know?
I just don't know that that's what's happening right now.
You can say the same for a lot of shit, man.
Okay.
Same with 80s movies, dude. Everyone has their favorite 80s movies.
Right.
And to some people, that's still their favorite movie. A movie that came out literally 40 years ago.
Okay.
Is still their favorite movie. Like, that just goes to show you. I feel like people just copy what they saw in the 80s or try to, there's not a lot of OG shit anymore.
You know, a lot of the movie people that I would speak to say, well, yeah, we do that because it's insurance.
Yeah, it's insurance that people are going to like it.
Right.
But still, I don't know. You don't take a chance. That's what we literally just talked about last pod. That's the only part of, I don't know if I'm going to say capitalism, but that's the one part of, this generation that I don't really like is that they know the formula works.
Yeah.
So they use the formula every single time. And not only that, but they find ways to cut to make the formula as dumbed down and simple as possible. That's why I don't really like a lot of new Marvel movies, because it's just the formula again and again and again.
Right.
And it's like, hey, all right, here we go, another way. And I like Doctor Strange. I thought it actually kind of
I
went
ain't seen the new
away
one.
from the formula.
You saw the newer one?
I thought it was okay. I thought it was pretty good. It's
Okay.
very comic-y, which is what it's supposed to be, right?
The first one was a little bit dark, though.
Was it? Oh, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, a lot
Yeah.
of people died. This one actually is, too.
Okay.
You know what? I didn't even think about that, but that is on par with Doctor Strange. A lot of bros die in that movie, man.
Okay.
In pretty messed up ways, because it's all space magic and shit.
Right.
You know?
So, I mean, I'm okay with sequels. I don't like
Yeah.
remakes too much.
No, dude.
Well,
That's been on the topic of Twitter like all week. There's this game
okay.
called The Last of Us, right?
The Last of Us?
The Last of Us. Now,
It's-
back
what
when
is
it came out years ago.
Okay.
It's a game that follows, the main character and this girl who he has to like smuggle out of the city. There's zombies everywhere,
Smuggle
right?
what? Oh, they're just trying to get themselves out of the city.
But the
Okay.
girl is immune. She's like the only one ever to be immune from the zombies. So he's got to get her to this group of people that say they can make a cure for the zombies, right? So of course
Okay.
he's like, holy shit, yeah, I got to get you out of here. And like there's a big journey and they like bond, and it's like a dad-daughter kind of thing throughout the whole journey. It's very very beautifully written. It's very nice. Like the
And this is the game.
game's almost like a movie. It's real, And this is back on like PS3, dude. This was a long time ago.
Okay.
Well, they're remaking it, but they already remastered it. So now this is the remake of the remaster, and I'm like, stop doing that. It's great. It's a good game, but like, stop remaking shit that is already good. Like,
Yeah.
why are you so that we can re-release it again and again? If you know the game called Skyrim out there, you know that they've re-released that game 6 times.
Wow.
6 times they've released that game.
That makes me think about the first part, though. If they're re-releasing something that they already own, then they don't have to pay
Yeah.
they're really,
Now, they did go in and completely like reskin the game. People I don't like it because there is something beautiful about really old games or really old movies artistically. You know, everyone knows the 80s movies didn't look 4K. You know,
Right.
you couldn't see the pores on the characters' skins, but the lighting they used and the techniques they used kind of gave it a certain charm to the movie itself that people are like, I kind of like that.
Right.
Back to the Future, right? No, it
I
wasn't.
love that.
It wasn't
I love that
HD,
joint.
right?
Right.
But the colors and the costumes and everything they used was just cool, All the holograms that meant them look so futuristic that look dumb now, but it was cool back then, right?
Yep. Yep.
In the second movie where the big shark hologram comes and like eats you on top of the movie theater, it was just cool to see. But now, you've got probably people who are like, oh, we're going to remake Back to the Future. It's going to be new and it's going to look really HD. It's like, we don't want that.
All right. So, it's weird. So, okay. So, Back to the Future, they were time traveling to 2015.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have flying cars in 2015.
Where the flying cars at?
That's what I'm asking. That's what I'm saying. Where the fuck? We have Teslas, but they don't fly.
They don't fly.
They don't got Mr. Fusions where you put trash in the top and it creates gas.
That makes me wonder this then, because I thought that brings, and it's not even a topic I had on our plan, but okay, so Back to the Future,
Yeah.
forecast to 2015.
Mhm.
We didn't. I'm sure we saw some of the stuff come to pass. Let me see.
I'm wondering if there's a list now of stuff that actually came true. Oh, the Cubs did win the World Series,
Okay.
and that was in Back to the Future, so that was funny that happened.
All right.
Or was it the Cubs or the Reds? I think it was the Cubs because it was a C.
Okay. So personal drones. That was one of them that came true.
Oh yeah, I guess VR because
Yeah.
they like brought it down from the ceiling, they put it on their head, and that's how they like answer messages and shit. Sorta, Did you know we had technically VR in the 90s?
I did not.
Canada had VR arcades like 20 years before we did, like the 2000s.
Dang.
Now they probably weren't like how they are now, where you're like in the world, but it was probably more along the lines of like 3D,
Okay.
where you look at it and it looks far away and you're like, oh, but no, Nintendo had a prototype in the 90s that you could buy. I don't know how expensive it was, and it looked real janky. I mean, it looked old, right?
Okay.
But they were like, oh, it's so cool. It's red, and your eyes track the color red more, and it's really neat, and it's 3D. And it's like, all right, I wonder how it worked, because I've never heard of it, so it must not have been a big success. But Nintendo had technically like the first, I guess, remnants of a widespread bought VR.
Yo, okay. I'm gonna keep going. We got tablets that was projected. Tablets
right.
and mobile payment technology.
Yeah. They
That
still
was
had
in
they
there?
still had faxing though.
Yeah, they had faxing. I
Faxing
mean,
and
they couldn't get it all right.
no.
Uh,
Well, could you imagine a world back then in the 80s without faxing? People probably thought that was like the biggest thing. Oh, video conference on your TV.
yeah, that was
They had
the next
that in
one.
Back to the Future.
Then they had the biometrics, 3 biometrics devices where you
Yeah.
had the fingerprint.
Yeah.
So okay, that brings me to this point then, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're creating, and we thinking broad, like some next level shit.
Yeah.
If you're creating the new Earth, right?
Yeah.
How can you really project what's next if all you know is now?
That's when
You can
you
guess.
take a bunch of DMT and you get you take a bunch of DMT and psychedelics, baby. You just build a new Earth and you come out and you're like, dude, I saw everything, man. I wrote a new language. We're all riding tigers and shit, bro. This is gonna work. Trust me. I mean, think about it. Did you know the guy who made Star Trek, right?
Okay.
The little communicator, though. You know, you like open it, and that's how we came up with flip phones.
Wow.
Before we had flip phones, we had Star Trek, and the communicator you'd flip open, and it'd go like, and you'd talk. And the guy who made phones was like, I'm gonna model it after Star Trek. So when he made phones, the flip phone came technically from the communicator.
Did we have, you know how they had the laser swords?
Oh, it's Star Wars?
Like, we know that we have lasers now that can burn through stuff.
We have lasers, and I did watch a YouTube video of a guy who technically made it's a handle and attaches to a backpack, and what it does is it emits like such a flame beam of superheated plasma. It's so hot, and it goes to a certain length so it doesn't go out of control, and you can sit next to something and it cut through steel. But it's not like a beam. It's not a saber that just cuts through.
Okay.
Because you technically can't. So lasers, right? What do lasers do? They keep going until it
Hit
fizzles
something.
out.
Yeah.
So you can shine a laser a mile away, and maybe after that mile you won't be able to see it. You probably have to have like a special infrared light, and you could still see it going.
Right.
So lightsabers can't really. You can't
can't
really
exist. Okay, 'cause
No,
it ain't no-
you have to have a little like metal rod and then like an end piece for the laser to go into, and
Okay.
then you could probably. But nah, it's impossible.
So if you're wanting to build a new world,
Yeah,
you got to have a place to stay.
yeah.
You got to have somewhere to breathe, like and what do you call it?
Oh, you're talking about if I was like God
world.
and I made
Yeah.
a world. I thought you were like, how would your kingdom run? I'm like, well, I would
No,
be the king.
a
I'd have
world.
casinos.
So but for a world, you have to. Is it necessary to have a trade, like something of trade for value for value?
Oh, dude, you're talking. Is that Star Trek? Is that what brought up that? Because in Star Trek, so humans have evolved past the need for money.
Okay.
Because we have, I think in Star Trek they have materializers, right? Where you just think of a microwave. You go to your microwave and cup of coffee. It literally builds the cup, builds the coffee. It just goes, and it's right there. You just have a cup of coffee now and you drink it.
Okay.
Like, so you don't need money because you could just create. It just uses matter to like make stuff.
Okay.
Which is like, I don't even think that's possible. But that's why they don't need money to buy things, because there's nothing to buy. You can just make it, right? What would you need a job if your wife and kids could just eat for free? You go to the microwave, type chicken parm, and then you just feed your family. What would you need a job for? Right?
So
if you could build a house, you just use your 3D printer to build your own house.
So what would be the a trade? Like, would it be food? It can't be food.
No.
Because like you said, you can print it.
I guess this really, because I guess whoever made Star Trek really thought it out, because what people do then, because there's no jobs really, is they just explore. Like you devote your life to like flying off the world and just like, I don't know, being friends with aliens and shit. You just want to make yourself proud and your family proud because you have nothing else to do here. So if we didn't have jobs, what would you do if you didn't have jobs? What would you do? I would just travel. I would just be traveling the whole time.
If I didn't have a job.
Yeah, I would just be going everywhere.
That's a good one.
Would you just make music?
Probably so.
Yeah.
But then, if I'm just making music, under what context pushes me to make the type of music that I make?
That's what I'm saying. Like you just want to do it for like self pride preservation and like your friends to like it, your family to like it. Just be proud of yourself. Like you'd have a whole generation of people. I feel like depression would just be gone. You know?
Would it? You think?
Yeah, you have nothing to. What do you have to fret about? The only thing you have to fret about is not being the best in something you want to do. That's it. All you would have is the drive to want to better yourself, which is the opposite of depression.
Yo, this is a good pod.
So
We pod now.
Yeah, right? If you, in a world with no... Because, like, I mean, back then, before, you know, the industrialization, like the industrial era, right? Mm-hmm. Like, the Native Americans, they would trade. They'd be like, I have, you know, this skin. You have those beads. I want that shit. You would trade? And that's what they would do.
Right.
There was no money. Maybe they had money. I don't know. But money is only for societies. Without a established society where there's a, you know, not a king, but there is obviously like leadership that makes the money.
Okay.
And they go, all right, hey, here's what this is set to. One, you know, gublak is set to 1 cow skin. So
Okay.
that is worth a cow skin.
Okay. So
Or
if
something, you know, I don't know.
but if what's the opposite? Say you can have everything that you want to have.
But you still couldn't like Star Trek materialize stuff?
No, you can
Oh, okay. Well, then I don't even-
materialize stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I still think there will be mentally ill people.
Oh, for sure. Well, because mental illness is not only genetic, but it's also caused by, I mean, I don't know, you just get mentally ill sometimes. It's caused by you. It's caused by your psyche.
Right.
Not you on purpose, but life events can lead up to that. Abuse is a huge cause of it, you know? And just because you have everything doesn't mean that there's going to be people who aren't assholes.
Right. And
so
how you think those people would function in that type of society?
I think there would be like limitless help for them. So, you know, maybe not when they're younger, because say you have an abusive dad, right? He doesn't want to take you to the doctors to get you healthy because he's an asshole, right? So you can't really get help until you leave. You're much older.
Right.
And you go, hopefully, find the world outside to get help. But I still think it'll be readily available because, again, you have people who, and that's one thing, that's a field. You're going to have doctors still because they want to do it.
Right.
They genuinely want to help people who are still hurt and sick.
I wonder what the percentage of doctors would be, though.
I don't know.
Because I
know a lot of people are doctors because the money.
Money, right.
Not a lot of people are. But again, you wouldn't have as many near as sick people in that kind of world.
You don't think so?
No, you wouldn't have. Like I said, a lot of sick people are really poor people who don't get treatment until it gets so bad that now they have to go get treatment. But in a world where you don't have to work, you go, I'm feeling funny. I think I'll go to a doctor. And they go, oh man, good thing you came in. You have like, you could have had this, but we fixed it. Nice.
Okay.
You know, in a world where you're like, I gotta work. I don't have sick time. I can't go to the doctor just yet. I'll wait a month. And then you go, you didn't catch it. You have cancer or something, you know, whatever. Like,
right.
We could have fixed that, but you know.
Way too late.
That's why they say, like, you got to check yourself sometimes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
So I'm
whole new world.
That's a interesting conversation.
Very philosophical.
Yeah, because I mean, I feel like if you give, I've heard plenty of people, you know, I'm broke, I can't afford that.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you
especially in America, what a hip replacement here costs like
$18,000,
3 years rent.
Yeah,
and a hip replacement in Spain.
Right.
Like, holy shit. Yeah.
So, do you think that the vanity would exist?
Vanity. Damn.
We pardon. Because I mean,
just definition of vanity to you. What do you mean?
Okay, I ain't gonna do it. We're gonna do this.
Let's get the real definition of vanity.
Okay.
Because I know someone being so vain. Yeah, you're gonna have vain people, of course. Especially in a world where so much is given to you immediately. If you don't raise your kids right, yeah, they're gonna grow up little bastards. Right. They get everything. That's what, you know what? And that's so different than the human condition of always, fighting and making what you need, having everything there for you immediately can go totally different. You can have a whole generation of people who are just evil slobs because they get everything they want whenever they want. You ever seen WALL-E?
What's that?
In WALL-E, Earth was like totally trashed and everyone left on this big spaceship. But on the big spaceship, no one has to work. They have everything they need. So they're all like really fat and like just fly around in chairs. And they're so oblivious. They don't know anything.
Okay.
They don't even know like that eventually they were supposed to go back to Earth. They're all just like so far in the future that they're like, everything's good. Ever since I was born, I eat whatever I want and I do whatever I want. I can shit in a chair. I don't got to do anything. It's just like, wow. Like you just basically get a person who is so complicit.
Just a baby.
You get a big baby man. Yeah, pretty much. So it could go completely opposite. Star Trek is like the utopia if that happened. WALL-E's like the dystopia if that happened, I guess. If you get whatever you want all the time.
All right, so vanity is excessive pride or admiration for one's own appearance or achievements.
Oh, you're going to get hell of vain people.
This is what I'm thinking.
That's what I think even in Star Trek, I didn't watch it religiously. I just really like the concept because like it's super philosophical, you can talk about it for hours. But yeah, you're definitely gonna get people who are like step aside. I'm the captain. Fuck you. Who are you? Get out of my seat.
Yeah,
I'm the best. It's like, dude, who are you?
And see, people like me that just always just aim to try to get the bread and fall back. I don't need to be in the front. It's like those people, because most of the time those people that fall back are the ones that get pushed over, or ran over. But even in that, we be like, do you? Like,
yep. Dude,
I'm not interested.
Like in the last 2 years, I've really gotten in the game of like actually trying to better myself. But before that, I was just like, you ever seen Office Space? Has anyone ever seen Office Space? One of the best movies ever, right?
Yeah.
In Office Space, the guy, he basically goes to this therapist, and the therapist is like putting him in like a deep sleep. Like, you care about nothing. You care about nothing. And then he dies before he could snap the guy out of it. So halfway through the movie, the guy's like, all right. And then he just goes through half the movie not giving a shit. Not giving a shit. Time. And he gets promoted. He gets like everything while his friends get like fucked over.
And they're trying hard.
They're trying hard. But he just stops giving a shit. And then he's like, you know what? My dream is to pretty much just do nothing. Because he's like, I'm complacent. I'm going to just... There are some people out there like me, and that was me. God, I would love to just do...
This is another epiphany.
Nothing.
This is another epiphany. Like, just talking. Okay, so I personally feel like when I started not giving a fuck about certain things, i.e., the response of an outsider, right?
Yeah.
Not family, because I still care about my family.
Family's a different ballgame, man. Family's a different...
Yeah.
Everyone has a different mode for your family, right? You have a different...
Right.
You have a different mad for your family, yeah.
I'm not gonna not give a fuck and give my all to family. It's a space. It's a sweet spot right there, right?
Which you've learned to cultivate over time, yeah.
Right. So when it comes to outsiders, I feel like the more that I say, no, fuck you, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Yo, you want this placement? I'm good.
Fuck you.
But it seems like the more I do that, the more it's like, yo, man. And it's weird because it's like, okay, I remember going, like I said, being in New York, wash in the public bathroom in the studio, to go down back in the studio to make a beat for opportunity, for advancement, right? Gave my all to get into the business. Yeah. And it was slow. And it was like, yeah, it's cool. Pretty cool guy. Oh, music's great. I hated hearing that. Y'all know who y'all are too. I go to an exec's office and they're like,
oh, that's amazing.
The music was great. Oh my God. I like how you put the guitars in there, this, and that. And then at the end, you're like, okay, so can we get a place? Well, no, I can't get a place, but
great music. Thank you. I'll call you. Never call, yeah.
But I've realized, I think I get it now. Like, and I just got it just now. Like, look at that. Growth on the freaking Mad Lucrative Pod. Woo! So, okay, I get it. I think it's the the salesman, used car salesman syndrome.
Yeah.
When you go to a used car lot, the guy feels greasy. You don't really want to talk because he's shady. The whole vibe feels shady because he's trying to sell.
I'm sure it's that aura of they've just gotten so good at talking to people. They've gotten so good at just not giving a fuck themselves that everything they say. You're like, you don't give a shit if I buy, you just want me to buy the car, which I get. I'm not mad at you for doing your job.
But I get it now, years later, because like I said, I know how to split producer brain to executive brain. And I understand, it wouldn't make sense for one of these down south producers to produce Elton John. It makes no sense.
Really?
Now, it might be cool.
Yeah.
It'd be a cool little vibe. But when you think about the whole, schematics or the whole soundscape of Elton John's career, you think of his piano.
Oh, yeah.
He has to perform the piano on stage. If you do any song that does not have a piano in it, he can't perform it. It's going to be hard for him to perform it.
Yeah.
Then you got to think about his dress. Mm-hmm. And how he looks, his actual visual on stage.
Yeah, he had it all. Yeah.
Then you gotta look at the sound. So when I was in producer mode trying to shop beats to labels, it was hard for me to divide the three. Because I was just trying to get on everybody's album. I want to get on Beyonce. I want to get on 50 Cent. I want to get on
so you weren't thinking what would he look like to sing, to the song? What would he be? Wow. That's so much you got to think about.
But
while you're turning in hundreds of.
But then you think about it from a label standpoint.
Dude.
For a label, and I get it. Sometimes I cape for the labels because I like some of the stuff that they do, but a lot of it is trash. But if you think about a label as a Fortune 500 business, you don't think about this artist's feelings or this artist's 360 deal is bad. You're thinking about the bottom line of the company. How much money did we make this quarter? Right?
Yeah.
Did we make good money?
No.
You don't care about what the music sounds like.
Get what's his face to go make tell him that. Yeah, you don't even
think about it because you're trying to make sure the bottom line gets met because you got payroll. You got from a business. It's business.
You're really making me think. Now.
So that's why I get on artists because artists will say, well, especially the main one, my beautiful beloved, she'll say they don't like real music no more, and you can't sell this, and I'm like, that's not how I think now because I get it. You got to fit, and if you want to fit, they got to be able to sell it.
You gotta kind of put on because you're not trying to be an asshole. I'm sure you're like, dude, that's just the game. I'm sorry. You go into robo mode. You're just like, I'm just picking.
I might start a campaign say I love labels. They'll love that, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I love labels. Labels don't love me.
That might be on the back. Labels up. Yo, y'all bet not take that shirt. We gonna make that a shirt. But very interesting conversation. I feel like we could have packed that for hours, but
you probably could. Everything we talked about, man. When you get into philosophy, bro, you can just keep talking. You probably sound like an asshole eventually because you're like, dude, what if in my Earth I would have all this? Just like, dude, shut up. What are you talking about?
But even on that part, I wanted to finish that. So if you're creating a planet, a planet without chaos, it will be hard to not have chaos without trade.
Yeah.
Think about it.
You
got to have something that's worth something.
To be human, you got to have everything, You can't, because otherwise you're not human. So
was it anarchy?
No, anarchy is chaos.
Yeah.
In a way, I mean, that's, someone might fight with me on that, but anarchy is in a utopia anarchy, there's just no government. Okay. There's no money. There's no, I don't know. Well, there might be. If the community themselves established some sort of thing that's worth something and they use that to trade, then I guess you just have to do majority rules. But when you do majority rules, to me, that sounds like a democracy.
Right.
So therefore not anarchy. I don't know. I'm sure it's an umbrella term, and you could go in to talk about this for like an hour.
Right.
You know, like what's a republic? A republic is just a land that has laws and everyone just follows laws, but no one is in charge. No one's leading. There are probably peacekeepers in a republic. Like they would be, I guess, cops in a way,
Right.
but it would just be like the Wild West where it's like a sheriff
Right.
of the town. But there's no leader of the town. It's just a town of people.
But I feel like it's necessary. Like for there to be structure, for people not to be doing rent. Like you can have a kid and just be like, yeah, I want to burn down the Atlanta building. And then it's like, why you want to do that? I
You
just
might
want to do it.
put that guy in jail.
But then even in that, who runs the jail?
Yeah.
How is the jail powered? How is power being paid?
What's the thing?
What's power worth?
In the Wild West, you had bounty hunters. You had people because the sheriff couldn't be everywhere all the time. And a guy could skip town.
Right.
Well, who's going to bring that guy to justice? I guess someone who gets paid to do that. So you would put up a flyer
and that's a
that
trade.
say, hey, you go do this, I'll pay you.
That's a trade.
And it is a trade, yeah. Really, it's a trade. You bring me that guy, I give you monetary value for that, for your service. That is, in a sense, capitalistic.
Yeah.
You provided your service for a good being the guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I really like. Very libertarian republic, I guess, would just be the Wild West. I mean, when you think about it,
Yeah, we might have to do another pod with
there
that.
was no property tax. There was no. I think if you just found a plot of land and built on it, what would you? I guess you could pay the city, but not really.
Keep dropping.
There wasn't really cities.
No.
To me, that sounds awesome. I don't know. That you could do what you wanted within reason, but you had to be a good citizen because you'd want your neighbor to be a good citizen. There was more incentive to be a good person because you'd want your neighbor to be a good. You wouldn't want your neighbor to come steal your shit.
You just don't know what kind of neighbor you're gonna get.
Exactly, and that's why the sheriff is down the street.
So that's a different type of world. I wonder. I would like to ask that question too.
I think it's why people romanticize cowboys so much because of the time.
But I want to ask a group of people. Okay, when I ask, just say, okay, create your world.
Yeah.
What you mean? Just make a whole world, and I want to put them side by side.
Yeah.
And see what those answers would be. See what those ideologies.
I think at a certain place in time, isn't that kind of what the forefathers did when they were writing up that bitch? They were like, all right, what do we want? Fuck Britain, what do we want? I want to do this shit. All right, cool, put that in. You know. Okay. I think we should do that again.
Listen, you did not hear from me.
It'd be cool, just kind of we'll have that one still over here, but we can make a new one.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll definitely want to unpack that, but I think we've unpacked it enough today.
I think it was nice.
And we are already up. I know people will probably be like, no, you're going to just keep it. No, we're not going to do it.
No, sorry. I know I'm so interesting, and you love hearing us talk. Some people don't. We have, but hey, if you're doing good, you have haters. You know? Yeah. Even if it's funny.
Yeah. I honestly, even in that, I appreciate the love and the hate because I know you paid attention.
Yeah. Also, some people on TikTok just roasting you is just funny. It's just funny. I love hearing the shit they come up with.
Yeah. They're random.
I love it.
They're random. But I think we are good. I wanted to unpack Juneteenth, but we ain't gonna do it. We'll do it next week.
Yeah, happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day. Happy anniversary to me. Hello. I gotta give me one. One time for me.
Good job.
Woo. And what? Till next week?
Yeah, till next week.
All right. Peace. It's not just a network, man. It's a network, man.